Hello, once again, people. Again, I just want to say, if you read the title of this episode and don't see a number labeling the episode, I'm trying a new thing. Apparently, YouTube's algorithm will not put out videos if they have numbers in the title. I don't know. It's weird. I don't understand, but so far I've heard other creators say that. So I'm going to try that out to see if my stuff will be put out there. But today, some of us have tragedies in our heart in multiple ways. Because this episode of The Mandalorian, Season 2, Episode 6, is titled The Tragedy. Today I will be reading a recap from The Vulture. So let's start it off. As the 6th episode of The Mandalorian second season opens, everything seems to be going our hero's way. Thanks to Ahsoka, Mando has a clear destination in mind and seems so sure of his mission's success, he'll already be planning how to say goodbye to Grogu. Mando's delighted at the way Grogu now responds to his newly earthed name, and he's steeling himself for their inevitable goodbye. "You're a very special kid," he tells a little friend. "We're going to go find that place you belong, and they're going to take real good care of you." And, are those tears welling up underneath that Beskar helmet? I think that's really the first time we ever hear Mando be so human. He laughs when he's playing catch with that shifter knob that Grogu was so attuned to. Some might have speculated that that was the tracking device that was planted in the ship, but it probably wasn't. Mando would probably know by then. If you haven't already, here's a quick side piece. If you haven't already, go subscribe to New Rockstars and listen to their play-by-play recap of Easter eggs that you might have missed, scene by scene. They're so good. Probably better than what I'm doing here. But please finish this. It's not going to be a long episode today, probably 25-30 minutes. It's finals week for me, so things are getting pretty heated as I was tugging on the collar of my shirt. See, you'd know if I had a video camera, but I don't. But I digress. But even if sadness awaits him, Mando clearly feels pretty good about completing his task, if not about saying goodbye to Grogu, and pretty good in general. And why shouldn't he? The Razor Crest is looking sharp. Funny. He's picked up that cool spear, the Beskar spear. After this is over, he can maybe relax a bit and pick up a couple of good, easy bounty hunting jobs. He is a bounty hunter after all. Grogu's feeling great too, now that he has free access to the shifter knob. Presumably all the food he wants without stealing from sentient frog people. What could go wrong? A lot, as it turns out. Things quickly fall apart not long after the episode reveals its ominous little title, The Tragedy. And though nothing that happens can be called tragic in the proper sense of the term, Mando's quest suffers from pretty serious setbacks during this outgoing. It begins well enough, however. After landing on the plains, one quick jetpack ride gets Mando and Grogu to the hilltop magic rock they've been told might summon a Jedi to their aid. For a moment, it seems like nothing's going to happen after Mando places Grogu atop the rock. What's worse, company arrives via a ship that looks extremely familiar to anyone who's seen The Empire Strikes Back. It's the Slave One, the oddly shaped vessel favored by Boba Fett. So when I was watching the episode, I was looking, and I saw that I saw the slave ship, and I was like, "Huh, that looks oddly familiar." And then I saw its color, and I was like, "Damn, dude, that's the Slave One." And I got kind of excited because I knew that Boba Fett was going to be in there, but was Boba Fett going to be in there to come and kill Mando for his armor? Did he pick up a bounty to kill Mando and take Grogu? I don't know. This confirms what's been heavily suggested since the first season. The bounty hunter who brought Han Solo back to Jabba the Hutt is alive, and though looking kind of rough, ready for action. Mando decides they're better off running than fighting, but has no luck removing Grogu from the rock, encased as he now is in some kind of force field. That means dealing with Boba Fett, Temuera Morrison, now playing the son of Jango Fett, the character he played in Attack of the Clones. Boba Fett's not after the child, however. He wants the armor Mando retrieved from the Marshal in Season 2, Episode 1. The armor Mando believes Boba Fett has... Mando believes Boba Fett has no right, since Mando doesn't view him as a proper Mandalorian. When asked if he is Mandalorian, Boba Fett dodges the question, saying, "I'm a simple man making my way through the galaxy like my father before me." Now, if you back it up, all you Star Wars fans, in Attack of the Clones, when Temuera Morrison played Jango Fett and Obi-Wan Kenobi was questioning him, Jango Fett said, "I'm a simple man making my way through the galaxy." Little callback there. And then right after that, he says, "like my father before me." That's what Luke states in, I think, Return of the Jedi. So those are two little quote callbacks. Quote callbacks, quote callbacks, quote callbacks. Some QCs, baby. Though it first seems like they'll be settling their differences by fighting, Boba Fett has a card he hasn't shown yet. A sharpshooter with a gun aimed at Grogu. And not just any sharpshooter either. It's decidedly not dead Fennec Shand, played by Ming-Na Wen, whom we saw last lying, apparently lifeless, in the sands of Tatooine. With Boba Fett's help, and the help of some high-tech stomach prosthetics, she's recovered nicely. In quote, "Fate sometimes steps into the rescue the wretched," Boba Fett says. And he ought to know. When we last saw him, he was being swallowed by the Sarlacc in the Return of the Jedi. But how did he get out of that Sarlacc pit? Well, they haven't told us yet, but one of the things is he was on Tatooine. Guess what else was on Tatooine in Season 2, Episode 1? The Krayt Dragon. Guess what Krayt Dragon eat? Sarlacc. So maybe that Krayt Dragon that Mando blew to bits, maybe that was the one who saved Boba. So they're at a stalemate until everyone decides, quite reasonably, to drop their weapons and talk about it. But Mando seems kind of off when it comes to the matter of giving up Boba Fett's old armor. I mean, Mando's Mandalorian. Why not give it to Boba Fett? He's not a Mandalorian. Before they can reach an agreement, trouble arrives in the form of first one, then a second shuttle filled with stormtroopers. What follows is a truly spectacular action scene, one that easily stands up to anything in that Star Wars films, but also unlike anything we've seen in them. It's a believable, smartly choreographed battle between three skilled combatants who have the advantage of higher ground and a bunch of heavily armed stormtroopers who, for once, have a disciplined battle plan. That doesn't mean the odds favor them, however. Boba Fett's long been a favorite character, and it's not hard to see why. Well, first of all, he wasn't really supposed to be a really cool character. I mean, in the original trilogy, he only had like 8 minutes of screen time. It was the fans who decided that, damn, this dude look hella cool. So, he looks cool, and he's a rebel who plays by his own rules. Who can resist that? The only problem, he never really does anything cool in the movies. Han Solo more or less gets handed to him and meets an inglorious death by misfiring jetpack in Return of the Jedi, or so it appeared. This episode almost seems designed to redeem his reputation. Morrison looks formidable wielding the pointed staff Boba never got used to in the movies, hitting the stormtroopers with such force that their armor shatters. And when he retrieves the armor, the Mandalorian, finally, after 40 plus years, shows us what a fully operational Boba Fett can do, including take down 2 shuttles with 1 rocket. Fennec's no slouch either, but we already knew that. So one of the cool things, I do not have the book, but I've seen screenshots. There's a book that goes over different armor types of different Star Wars characters, and one of them is Boba Fett, of course, and it shows that he has like missile knees. So he's got like a knee plate and it has missiles in it, and whenever he lunges forward, the missiles shoot out, and we get to see that. But Temuera Morrison, he's wielding this like weird shaped staff, and it oddly kind of looks like what the Sand People wield on Tatooine. Also, Temuera Morrison is from Hawaii, and he's I don't remember what they call it, but it's kind of like a fight dance, but he specializes in that. So we get to see some of that Hawaii fighting style, which is super cool. Some other things to note is that Boba Fett doesn't look like he fits in that freaking armor. It's kind of like, you really like that sweater at the beginning of Christmas break, and then after Christmas break, you fit in it kind of, but it stretches just a little bit. I mean, like, sorry, Boba Fett, but like, you need to slim down a bit. But just when the battle seems to have ended, the newly formed fighting trio encounter a new sort of foe. A band of dark troopers who descend on the hill and snatch Grogu, who's too exhausted by whatever happened to his trance-like state to do anything about it. Another problem, the orbiting Imperial ship blows the Razor Crest to smithereens. Oh my god! Leaving only Grogu's beloved metal ball and Beskar's spear behind them. It's a bad day to be the Mandalorian. Really, I mean, like, come on. Everybody saw that. Everybody saw that Grogu was going to get stolen, but nobody was going to see the freaking Razor Crest blow up. When I was watching it, I was like, holy shit, what the hell? Like, excuse me? Are you kidding me? That's the true tragedy. The Razor Crest. I mean, it falls apart, like 2 times in the show. Falls apart on the ice planet. Gets fixed up on Mon Cala. And then it falls into the ocean before it gets fixed up. And then the Mon Cala fix it. And then they take it back to the Nevarro. Freaking brand new. Maybe except for some like carbon scoring from hyperspeed. But then we get here, and it blows up? Freaking excuse me? There better be a Razor Crest 2, or he's getting that damn Slave 1 ship, because you know it. That's the saddest thing. I think I shed a tear when I saw the Razor Crest explode. I'm so pissed. But there is some hope, however. After the dust settles, Boba Fett satisfactorily explains that he deserves the armor thanks to his lineage. He also reveals that he and Fennec believe themselves obligated to help rescue Grogu from the Empire. It is a welcome development, but that doesn't mean that they have an easy job ahead of them. In fact, Mando believes they need at least 1 new recruit, so he makes a quick stop to talk to Cara Dune, who is now officially a Marshal of the New Republic from a couple episodes, for some help tracking down Mayfield, the slippery character who betrayed him and almost got him killed during a raid on a supposedly unmanned New Republic prison transport in the first season. Mayfield is played by Bill Burr. Whether or not Mayfield can help them remains to be seen. In the meantime, we get a glimpse of Grogu's life as a prisoner of the Empire, and it's not pleasant. He's powerful enough to fend off some stormtroopers and force choke them. Calm down there. Calm down there, Grogu. That's for the Sith. You're a good little guy. Do not force choke. Well, I mean, we did see in Return of the Jedi, we did see Luke force choke some people, and Luke turned out to be a little okay. I mean, that was his like goth side, so it was just a phase. After he's force choking some stormtroopers, it makes him sleepy, and it makes him incredibly vulnerable to whatever experiments await him, and to the taunts of Moff Gideon, who shows him his darksaber and has his men put him in shackles. These shackles kind of have like a blue glow. Maybe that restricts his force powers, because in Attack of the Clones, Count Dooku captures Obi-Wan and has him in like this force field kind of thing, and that renders his force abilities useless. So maybe these little baby handcuffs render his force abilities useless. I don't know, but maybe Grogu's a little old enough to understand that this is a bad situation. But it's best not to despair just yet. There's an excellent chance it's not the last we'll see of this little guy. So, what the heck? So, one reason to believe that the second season still has 2 episodes to go. It's kind of hard to believe we're on the 6th episode already. Has it really been 6 weeks? Damn. Season 2 has moved so briskly, and like the first season, it's skillfully told a string of tight, seemingly self-contained stories. If it follows the same pattern as the previous season, look for these final episodes to put all of those pieces together. And a few from last season too, as Bill Burr's return appears imminent. So, here are some questions. So how did Boba Fett get out of the Sarlacc's belly? Well, I kind of already explained that. The Krayt Dragon could have eaten it up. Oh well. Moff Gideon's looking like wannabe Darth Vader. But like, he's already freaking creepy. The Dark Troopers made their first appearance in various Star Wars video games. Another example of the Mandalorian borrowing from whatever corners of the Star Wars universe suits he needs. I think that was the Old Republic that the Dark Troopers were from. But these ones in the show look a little different. This episode was also directed by Robert Rodriguez, the prolific director whose career stretches from the low-budget El Mariachi in 1992 to the beloved 2019 cult film Alita: Battle Angel. It plays like the work of someone who's wanted to see what he can do in the Star Wars universe for a long time. Also, a little Steven Spielberg and George Lucas callback. In this episode, Fennec is sharpshooting some stormtroopers, takes an E-web to a giant boulder in front of her, and kicks down the boulder, and these poor little stormtroopers are running away like Indiana Jones behind the boulder. Oof. But, also, there are some, like, strange hieroglyphic writing on the ball that Grogu was sitting on top of the Jedi palace, and that appears to be like old Sith writing, and that has also appeared in some Star Wars stuff like the Clone Wars or Rebels, and people have figured out how to explain what that says, but in this episode it's a little old and no one can really figure that out yet. But the butterflies too. Before Grogu starts meditating in his cute little meditation pose, there are these blue little butterflies that fly up and stuff. So those might be connected to the Force. We don't know. But there was a comic book that featured Darth Vader, and when he was in a meditation state, these blue little butterflies appeared as well. So who knows what Grogu saw while he was meditating. But if you watch the new Rockstars episode, they kind of zoom in a bit, and when Mando's at the bottom of the hill and Grogu is still up top meditating, you can see that there are 2 figures up there. One is Grogu, and one might be a Force ghost, or something like that. Also, here's a big question. Who do you think saved Grogu from the Jedi Palace on Coruscant during Order 66? Could it have been Obi-Wan Kenobi? Could it have been Yaddle, who is the same species as Yoda and Grogu? She's also only like 400 years old. She's half the age of Yoda. So Obi-Wan, Yaddle. Could it have been Yoda? Could it have been Mace Windu? I don't know. I'd like to see a little bit more of Samuel Mother effin' Jackson. Because, like, he's a badass dude. But I don't know. They probably won't resurrect him or anything. But it'd be interesting. Too bad we have to wait another freaking year for another season of The Mandalorian. But there's also that spin-off show, the Obi-Wan series, which takes place between before New Hope and after he drops off Luke and Leia to Bail Organa and Luke's Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru. So those are some lasting questions to just stick in your mindy mind there for a bit. So let me grab my podcast journal and let's write down a score out of 30 for this episode. Now, as you know, this isn't like an official score or anything. This is just what I think about the episode. It is based off of 30 points, 10 points each for main plot point, episode plot point, and action plot points. Now, last episode, titled The Jedi of Some of Us, episode 7, I stated that was also the tippity top. That scored 30 out of 30 points for me. And this is tragedy. For main plot points, let's see here. Main plot points. I don't know. I really want this one to be my favorite. Because it really, really, really is. This is seriously, I mean, Ahsoka's my babe. But like, I mean, seriously, like, this episode was so good. It wasn't even that long either. So we have main plot points, episode plot points, and action points. First of all, action points, 10. Tamara Morrison really kicked ass as Boba Fett. Episode plot points, 10. Tamara Morrison gets his stuff back. Razor Crest blows up, rest in peace. Grogu gets taken by Moff Gideon. We get to see the return of Bill Burr as Mayfield. But main plot points, I'm gonna give it a 9. So this episode gets a 29 out of 30 for me, even though it is my favorite episode so far. Guys, thanks for sticking with me. We've only got 2 episodes left of The Mandalorian, and then we can resume our video game / movie / life episodes, maybe a little bit longer episodes. I don't know. It just depends. By next week when I record, it'll be finals week still. So I don't know, it just depends. But be expecting a little bit longer episodes during my winter break. My winter break starts on the 17th and ends on the 21st. 1/21/21. So be expecting a bit longer episodes. That'll give me time to prepare and write some more for these episodes. But thank you so much for sticking with me. As you know, my social media links will be down in the description below, including the link to the new Rockstars video about this episode, The Tragedy. And thank you guys so much.